Hello, I'm Cat, and if you played Minecraft in the past couple weeks or so, you're probably aware of the fact that Minecraft villages no longer look like this, but instead have entirely changed to look something a bit more like this. This is a really interesting change that Minecraft villages have gone through, and although I could explain it in a whole bunch of different ways, I think one of the best ways to understand something is to take it apart and put it back together again. And what if we tried to do this exact thing, but with a brand new Minecraft village? Because this is a little bit of a throwback to the old Minecraft villages, where I've tried this exact same challenge, and although things went a little bit rough there, to date we're going to be trying the exact same thing, so I can show you exactly how many blocks are in a Minecraft village of exactly what type, so we can understand exactly what's inside it, and then so we can try and put it back together in a hopefully more appealing format. So that's what we're trying today. I hope you do all enjoy this, but first of all we need to find a new village, so we're going to head north until we find the first village that we can, and then we're going to deconstruct it and see what's inside. 3,000 blocks later, I appear to have found a brand new Minecraft village, and you can see, again, it's so distinctly different to the Minecraft village you're probably used to if you've played Minecraft any time before the last 2 weeks, and yeah, that's kind of important to note because there are so many brand new blocks like the bell, like these composters, and like everything else we're going to spot around here. Even seeing stained clay in a village feels a bit weird, but we're going to be taking this village down bit by bit, and we're going to be placing it inside instead of chests like normal, because this is 1.14 village and pillage style stuff. We'll be placing everything inside different barrels so we can see how many of each block we get. So yeah, let's start with the interiors. Because you might be curious about the sorts of things you're going to find inside the villager houses, because if you do want to just take things from villagers, the interiors are the thing you can take easiest because they're not noticeable from the outside. So fun fact, if you ever want to steal from someone, take things inside their house, because if you take their entire house, they're a lot more likely to notice. Side note, but this guy has the most boring interior to his house. He has 2 torches, 2 stone blocks, the brand new block, and then also a chest which just has a leather tunic in it. Like, is this your entire life, man? Like, everything you own and possess is this. I guess he has a cauldron outside, technically. So all of these villager houses seem to just have like one thing and then their bed, if they even have a bed, whereas this one guy has this really nice 2-story house, new feature for this update, and all he has inside his house is 4 separate beds. Like, he has a huge house and he has 4 times as much as everyone else, and to me, that just seems like something you want to be careful about. Seems like you're starting a little bit of class warfare here, friend. So yeah, the interiors of the houses have depressingly little going on inside of them. Like, we have 2 stone blocks, 8 beds, plus a yellow bed for some reason, which is I still don't quite understand. We got 11 torches, because every house has pretty much 1 torch, and then one house has 4. I think we all know which one it is. And just, yeah, depressing what you find on the inside of this village, at least. So the next thing I decided to remove was, of course, the roofs. As you can see, all of the roofs are gone now, as well as all of the windows. And interestingly enough, even though there's only a few houses, and, the roofs don't seem that big on paper, when you actually chop them down and put them in a chest, you have a surprising number of roof blocks alone, and again, a surprising number of windows, I would say, for a whole village. So yeah, interesting fact. Next up, we're going to go and destroy the rest of the houses themselves, all the way down to the foundation, so just start chopping the sides and then the walls, etc., until we have basically nothing left besides foundations. Now we've removed all of the walls and all of the other detail like that, we just have some doors, some bases, and all these other details like this composter that I'm currently sitting in. And just in case you're curious as to how much a, pretty standard-ish, maybe small standard village actually is in terms of blocks, it looks something a little bit like this. Again, like less than I was really expecting in terms of how many blocks there are in total, and yeah, I guess fun fact, Minecraft villages are not that great for blocks. In case you're going mining and you only want to mine Minecraft villages, you might need to work something else out. So the village looks a bit sad without any other features here. Like, it's literally just some pathway with some removed cobble, etc., and then some doors, and then you can see how every one of these planters still has like the stuff there, because replanting, getting rid of that, that's a few steps of effort. So we'll use this as the baseline of the village. Everything else besides the village and literally the crops themselves and the things stopping the water flowing, that's gonna go to some places. So you know what that means? The final thing we have to destroy is the last bit of the houses, the old-fashioned doors that used to represent how many people live in a village, and yeah, let's get this all destroyed and placed in a chest so we can work out exactly what's what. So you probably spotted, but just in case you didn't, I actually went to sleep between the first half of this and the second half destroying the village, and in that time, 1, I mean my skin is stuck as Steve, it won't change for some reason, and 2, all of the villagers just despawned. There aren't any villagers here anymore, which means if we want this to be an actual village, we have to find another village to augment and improve, or we have to import some villagers, because they all left, because apparently not having a bed to sleep in means that villagers don't want to live somewhere, because they're just that darn fussy apparently. And this right here is the last block we're going to be destroying. I mean, besides these things, which I mean, it just feels wrong to destroy them because so much is going to go in the air. But sure, fine. Last 2 blocks. Last 4 blocks. There we go. That right there is an entire village, minus a couple of key bits, the planters and the crops themselves, destroyed. Everything besides dirt and things stopping water flowing has been destroyed in every single direction. And yeah, it's kind of strange to look at, honestly. This is the footprint of a village, if you will. This is the village minus the village. Have you ever wanted to see that? You might not have wanted to, but here we go anyway. Let's get a nice bird's eye view, and then we can kind of tally up exactly what came from where and how. So first of all, we throw our wood in the same place as all the rest of this came from, because obviously we got that from chopping down the thing, and then we'll place the rest of it in here. And now to show you how we did it, because we start with the key ingredients from each house. This is how many ingredients you get from a village like this. This is how many, like roof tiles and stuff you get. This is how many wall tiles you get, plus windows. This is what you get when you take all the miscellaneous bits of the village. And here's what you get when you remove the floors and every other final, like, kind of remaining details. So that's what it looks like when you see it by area of the village. But let's now tally up by block. Okay, so now we've sorted by each individual item type. So for instance, we have 9 white beds plus a yellow bed. Here's the 9th one, by the way. For a total of 10 beds, we have ourselves 4 stacks and a bit of oak wood stairs, number on screen right now. We have this much oak planks, which seems to be the largest number of any blocks we have in this village. We have this much oak logs, which is, again, quite a significant amount when you think about it. We have this much cobblestone, which, as we all know, cobblestone very rare in Minecraft. One of the most sought after blocks, I definitely want to say. Then we have some cobble stairs, we have some white terracotta, we have some stripped oak log, plus some stripped oak wood. Very different blocks, as it turns out. 31 glass planes, 53 mossy cobblestone, 6 this much oak leaves, this many oak wood slabs, this many hay bales, this many oak fences, this many oak fence gates, this many torches, and then finally, miscellaneous just garbage, we have this of all of it. So we're now going to take all of this, all of this garbage together, and we're going to try and reconstruct a village. I don't know, I'm going to like mentally think for a few seconds as to like, is here the best place, or should we find an existing village and upgrade it? Because honestly, we don't have villages anymore. What makes this a village besides having crops, which doesn't really make something a village, it just makes it a place where crops grow. Yeah, arguably this is just a mess in the middle of the ground, and I kind of like leaving it destroyed. So what we'll do is we're going to take these barrels, we're going to load them up into shulker boxes, which will take a little bit of time, and then we're going to find a village nearby here. I mean, it's a huge plains biome, I'm sure, just over there you can see. There is a brand new village. So instead of, we're going to do a little bit of a twist on our usual recycle video today. I've just decided midway through this video that why not use it instead to do an upgrade challenge? Why not, instead of, like, oh yeah, we're going to be recycling the village, building it from scratch, this can be a fun twist on the challenge because we'll be upgrading this village. So this village, which is otherwise like, it's small to medium, like it's not a big village. If we combine 2 villages together, then we get a village with a lot more capacity, a lot more villagers, and maybe a lot nicer looking. I mean, not significantly nice looking, but better than it was before. That's all we're going for. By the way, can I share a quick little confession with you all? And maybe you can see this by the number of barrels that we have that are unfilled. But I thought this would be a bigger and longer project, honestly. Because before it used to take 2 or 3 hours to take an entire village and to, of course, to like destroy it and recycle it. But, I assumed there were so many new things, like all these bells and whistles. Wait, bells and whistles, am I right? Haha, very funny. But I figured all these new things would, like, make that more of a challenge. But it seems as though, at least when you get a small enough village, it's actually a fairly doable project. Like, I'm going to recommend this to anyone. So, yeah, pro tip with Toycat. Also, this is what a village looks like if you lay it all out on the floor. So, there's another fun one for you. But yeah, the entire village fits in 2 shulker boxes, admittedly full shulker boxes, plus half my inventory, so, easier to destroy a village than you might think. If you ever have a village that you're just like, man, I hate this guy so much, you can destroy the whole thing and have some spare time to go and eat some pizza or whatever, and still be done before lunch. I'm just saying, like, pro tips of Toycat, if you get mad, destroy someone's, not only their entire house, destroy their entire village. That's a good way to, make them realize that you're in charge. So the easiest first step to make is to take these composters and make them mega composters, am I right? I mean, they look a bit more like a jungle tree than a composter now, but just like that, we've now doubled the composting ability of this village. I don't believe it works that way, but you know what, the villagers have to deal with my bad thinking anyway, because we're coming in here and we're just wrecking town regardless. Also, since I hate these roofs that these villagers have anyway, I feel like the best way to deal with them, I could be angry at them all day, But pro tip, don't just be angry at things all day for no reason. Instead, you can enact some real change. All you gotta do is use your existing stairs, which you should have by this point. And we can turn that roof into a staircase, and it's not only any staircase. We're going to do that thing that you see in a lot of, especially developing country cities, where like someone has a house in the inner city that they clearly had for a very long time, and someone else decided, you know what, I'm just going to build my house on top of your house. So that's where this next house is going to go. Oh, maybe now's a good time to point out, just in case this is your first Toy Cat video, you know, the building side of Minecraft isn't necessarily the part that I love the most. It's the technical weird doing, not unexpected, but stranger things. Like, I personally believe it's better to do something unique than to do something that's objectively good by the will of the Minecraft gods, the Minecraft builders. And, you know, if that's not your thing, then you might be offended at what's coming next. So this is your fair warning, bad building is about to ensue. We've now finished what I think is an absolutely beautiful, at least exterior, you know, the main walls of the house. We've got to build the roof now. But here you can see, we built a house using the same villager style, like same white stained clay we got, same like window size patterns, same bed that's going to be in here, because now villagers can get to sleep. In fact, you know, this is a nice high-rise apartment, so 2 villagers can sleep here. And just like that, we provided housing for more villagers, and look how great we did that. This is a serious improvement to that previous villager's house. Just have you ever secretly wanted a house on the side of your house's roof? I bet you have. This guy gets to live that dream. They also get this absolutely stunning roof, as you can see. It's a perfect representation of that one right there. And yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job with this guy. I think if you were living here, you'd be pretty happy right now. But you know what makes you even happier than having a house built on top of your house? If your house maybe got some real upgrades to it. So take this house right here, for instance. I reckon, you know, this is a fairly nice sized house. It's got 2 people living. They've even got a table they sometimes sit at together. I mean, the space doesn't really work out. But, you know, ignore the practicalities of their house. I think they deserve an extension, so let's build them a nice extension to their house. Have you ever secretly wanted a house so long that it stretched all the way from where you live, maybe in the city or the town, all the way out to the beach? You better believe these guys have a lakefront or beachfront property right here. That's beating you. That's... If you leave a comment saying that you don't like how these look, I'll just assume it's because you're jealous that you don't have a beachfront property. Also, since I've just decided these guys get a nice rich house, they're also going to have a chest, and in that chest we'll just give them all the other villagers' stuff, because that seems like a fair distribution to me. Also, something I've always thought is weird is that the new villagers don't come with beds inside the church. Like, don't get me wrong, it makes sense that, like, oh yeah, someone isn't by default sleeping in the church. But, like, if we need to increase the villager population, in the same way in the real world, like, most churches will open their doors to homeless. Like, the good churches will let homeless people sleep there, because that's what it's all about. You know, in the Minecraft world, it can be the exact same thing. So you better believe this is coming a homeless encampment now. Also, since all of the villagers' animals seem to have run away or despawned or something, we're going to make ourselves our own little, you know, farm right over here. As you can see, just like this, we now have a very handy-dandy little villager farm. Or, like, farmer farm, I guess it'd be. A farmer farm's a fun term. But yeah, this definitely is a farmer that's trapped in his farm. That's oh, he was not happy with that decision. Is that a glitch, or is that his protest? Like, take off his farmer hat for a second and then put it right back on. So I realized while I was making this particular part of this village upgrade, which is definitely still an upgrade by the way, but I realized that this is basically just us going through the process of like full-on gentrifying a village, right? Like, oh yeah, so what we're doing is we're taking a lot of people who previously didn't live in the village, and we're just gonna force them all in there, even though it's the same amount of space, we're just gonna, you know, kind of accept that's how things are gonna be, and it's a very odd thing to see. See, the cool thing about making the village this way is now it's going to look like we took an old Minecraft village from before 1.14 and we added the new buildings to it. So like, oh wow, yeah, it sure is good what we did. So yeah, pro tip, if you're ever in doubt about how much you can do for something, just pretend that the stuff you did was the stuff there before and the stuff that you are improving was the stuff that wasn't there before. So something you don't usually do when you gentrify an area, but we're gonna, you know, give it a little bit of a whirl today, is rounding up the old inhabitants and then putting them in big cages and fences and stuff. But we're gonna be doing that today just for the true authentic experience. I feel like if we're gonna have room for all these new residents, we have to lock the old ones up in these little fences here, which might actually be convenient for us in the end, because they might give us better, I mean, we can keep them in the same place for trading, so that might be handy. By the way, because I know some number of people are actually hurt by some of the, Minecraft, I should say, like, in the same way you're hurt when you see something terrible when they watch me design things in Minecraft, I should clarify, half the reason I make these things terrible, it's not to hurt you mostly, it's to hurt the sort of people who are like, oh, well, actually, don't you know, this palette goes much better with this block than that one. And for those sorts of people, here is your response. Here is my attempt at building a modern, design roof using simple design principles. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. Way better than any roof you can put together. Another small thing I'm doing, just because I think it looks kind of cool when you do it, is I'm gonna fill this with some, leaves. We're gonna waterlog some leaves. And then that way, instead of having like these gaps in the pathway that I might fall down, we can instead have this beautiful addition to the walkway, is what I'm gonna call it instead. Because yeah, we have a lot of leaves from the old build, and I don't really want to make trees. Like, making trees just isn't the fun way to do them, or like, I guess building trees isn't. So instead, we cover up all the dangerous things, like this mine entrance. But yeah, I really love this effect, because not only does it get rid of a potential tripping hazard if you're walking around and stuff like that, but it also just kind of looks cool seeing physically these things cover something up. It looks almost like a lily pad, but a vine lily pad. We've patched up pretty much every single hole that's a part of the village now, and we still have 44 of these leaves spare, so I guess we'll just, like, I don't know, make a big hedge, or maybe lots of little hedges. Like, you know, there's some space here. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a hedge here, and a hedge here, and a hedge over here? See, this makes up for all the terrible things I've done, because I planted some hedges around town. Yeah, it definitely adds a more cluttered feel to the village, but also it kind of, it separates house from house, so you don't see the whole thing at once. Something else that always disappoints me about villages is the fact that they just have pathways that lead to nowhere. So instead of them leading to nowhere, we'll have this lead up to like a nice big kind of mansion. Because we have a lot of stripped oak logs, and I don't generally use these, so we'll just use them all to make the biggest tower that we humanly can fit at the edge of the world here. So yeah, on the inside it looks like a normal village, but on the outside, if we remove a block, you can see how it's actually a pretty fun little tower. And I know it's a bit of a desert village touch on a regular village. Or, we could just make the whole tool village joke. Tool village isn't real. It can't hurt you. Tool village. But no, yeah, you can see how it's kind of like an ominous thing at the end of the road. I think the fact that it really doesn't have windows besides at the very top adds another layer to the thing. And just to make this actually workable, I'm going to build myself a little staircase going all the way up. Shouldn't be too hard. I mean, like, it's not like there's a shortage of stairs right now, fortunately. And this is why they call me a super genius, which is what they do all the time. I don't know how it happened so fast, by the way, but this terrace used up all of my remaining cobblestone, so well, I guess we're entirely on wood now. I guess there just wasn't much cobblestone in the old village. But yeah, it's actually a pretty fun build to make, like a recursion of the same thing over and over again. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I have like a specific type of build that I like, but I love taking a thing and then making it bigger, better, more extreme. So this used up the last of the doors, the last of the beds, and the last of the wooden stairs, because there's a lot required to make a roof that goes over 5 separate houses, but I actually kind of don't hate the result. I mean, maybe call me crazy on that one. Maybe it's just we've set the bar so low that now seeing it in a normal place is just like, wow, that sure is crazy. But again, I think like the stairs for the roof actually somehow works. I don't know how, I mean, besides there, where clearly it goes missing, but it actually just about holds together, which is something I wasn't expecting. So yeah, this might actually be an efficient way to increase your villager bed capacity. If you want them to have lots of beds, but you want to fit it in a small space and not have it be a ridiculous apartment style building, or just place them on the ground like I did, this might be a pretty efficient solution, because again, all they have in their houses is a bed and like a table. A bed and like a table with a torch on it if they're the fancy villager that has 2 roses out front. So given that we've ran out of a lot of the major building blocks, here's what we have left for the most part. We have some planks, we have some trapdoors, we have the yellow bed, we have some walls, some cobble stairs, some mossy cobblestone, and I figured rather than, using them to make small upgrades to existing villagers, why not try and make one mega house upgrade that just uses all of these? Why not just make one mega addition to the village that uses everything all together? First though, I think it does make a bit of sense to use up the fences and the fence gates, of which I have 52 and 15 by the way, to make some, actual way to, some kind of mega cage. Because right now, all of the main, I guess cages are used up on villagers, which is a fine thing to do. Look, the guy grew up and became a blacksmith, but I also think we need to have a better, kind of cage for the animals. So we're gonna make a mega cage just out here to kind of make this part of the village more useful, because it's super flat anyway. So let's give this a try. I think this does a pretty good job at doing that as well. We have literally a mega cage, you know. Another block I think I have too much of is oak wood planks. I've got literally 3 stacks of this. I can't use this all on unique houses, and I don't have enough like complementary blocks to make good houses out of. So what I'll do instead is I'll just make the tiniest thing that is like vaguely looking like a house. Like, okay, so it's a 1x1 little box that's going to exist over here. Because again, we're turning this village into kind of a city. So it's going to look like that, and it's going to be a place where theoretically a villager could live. Or I think another good use for this is to have this kind of half-finished house over here. So it's like, oh, a villager was trying to make a house out of wood, realized what a bad idea it was, and then kind of just stopped. And I think this does a good job at like the abandoned house kind of feel, maybe. Or maybe it's just me, but either way, I think it's a good use for the wood. And then we can, of course, finish up the last of the blocks with everyone's favorite, use for wood planks, which is, of course, to make a little bit of a temple with them, make a little bit of a pyramid, because, yeah, you know, every single biome needs a pyramid. It's a shame we don't have a villager temple or like a plains temple. So our solution to that is just to make one ourselves. There we go. Now we just have 12 planks left, which is totally usable in nice real upgrades. So now the real challenge comes in, and that real challenge is working out how to combine mossy cobblestone wood and a few cobblestone stairs to make an actual villager house. And you know what? We're going to give it our best shot, because we also have this yellow bed that we're going to place down now, I guess. So here we go, right out the window, because that's what happened to my design idea. And then a little bell, because this is the villager house, chief. And yeah, bell, chest, easy. Then we got some panes, some trapdoors, and some hay bales we still gotta use. I guess trapdoors, we'll try our best to just have a roof made entirely off them, or mostly off them. You know, it kind of works. It keeps the opposite side of the house to the bed dry, which is almost the same thing. We got a stripped oak wood block, which I can use in no particular way. Maybe, I don't know, over here? Yeah, I guess over here is going to have to be where it's at. I think what makes villagers look really cool is when they've got like double thick kind of plant plots. I think that's a good way to upgrade a village. So what we'll do precisely that. We'll make them a bit thicker on the sides. Make sure that water truly stays in where it can. Except over here where mistakes were made apparently. But yeah, just like that, we've now used all of the wood besides 2, which we can put 1 over here and 1 in an entirely different place over there. Perfect. This is pure perfection right here. Would you like to see a tour of my now upgraded village? Because I think you would, right? I think this level of build, this quality of placement is something you're going to want to see step by step. So let's give you a tour of my brand new village. So hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and welcome back to Village Reviews, a series I totally do all the time, and not just now for my own little village, where I review villages and let you know how great and wonderful they've been upgraded. So we're going to start by showing off these wonderful hedges they have right at the spawn. These hedges show you how this is a fancy place. It's not quite a hedge maze, so you don't get lost, but they're fancy enough to let you know we have a budget for greenery, and we put greenery everywhere because that's how much we love the environment, the planet, the world, the green stuff. That's what we are, because we're a great village. Speaking of us, we actually exist in a little space where we breed with each other and slowly become farmers despite not having land. It's a fun time, us 3 villagers. We also have a wonderful fountain here in the center. I like this fountain a lot. It shows that water, even though it's everywhere, it's also nowhere. Have you ever considered how 97% of the world's water is actually salty and undrinkable by humans? This kind of shows that even if you have clean water, who's to say that it's drinkable? The glass is to say that it's not, that's for sure. And also more hedges to let you know that, yeah, this is fancy, we're doing this because we can. Followed by this cow pen, where there is a cow in a pen. Again, that's a pretty normal village feature, actually. Then we've got 2 little bus shelters over here, and/or homeless encampments, and/or, starter houses. Depends on how you see these things. If you live in a big city, then this is the dream to have a whole 2-meter space to yourself, right? So yeah, wonderful places over here. Then we've got the church, which has been converted into a homeless encampment and also a potion place. I'm not sure what the logic of doing potions in a church is, but clearly they came up with an idea, they stuck with it, and the best bit about all of this is some people actually sleep right here on top of the church in the open elements. Notice how wonderful the view is. I see the sky when I go to sleep. You don't see that in your sleep, and that's because you don't live in this village right here. Then we've got this absolutely wonderful Victorian terrace where we have 5 houses crossing over into each other, and again, looking all very delightful. You can see there's a class system in place. Everyone loves a good class system where some people are better than others, right? That is everyone's favorite thing about the planet. Then we've got this house showing the modern design. It's alive and strong, and I mean, no one lives here, but the design is strong. It's like a permanent art gallery. Then we've got this delightful house, which, as you can see, totally designed myself. It looks very, very good. I actually did design this roof myself, as you can maybe tell. Then we've got some more houses. Again, pretty thick house going on over here. Pretty well improved. Pretty nice cage system. Pretty nice tower where the big villain lives over there. And as well as this delightfully large boathouse. In my opinion, it's delightfully large at least. I actually really like how this one turned out. Like, even though I basically just stretched a house, I think having a stretch house so that it goes like this, it is a good little idea. Like, a lot of these didn't go quite how I planned. Like, I would say, of all of the builds, I like this, I like that, and I like the House of Stilts. I think realistically, most everything else we did went pretty badly though, right? Like, you know, as delightful as I would love to say this is sarcastically, I mean, we did kind of run out of blocks before it went anywhere, but that's not important. What's important is we have extra defensive dams around our thing, that we have a plains temple, that we have a deconstructed house. Reminds you of the Minecraft 360 tutorial? I think it does. Yeah, so today we upgraded a village and we mostly did a bad job with it, but we did a good job in some parts. And given that most humans judge themselves by their intentions, not by their results, that means that today I can say we did amazingly, and hopefully you all agree. And if you don't agree, then, you know, get blocked. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Wait, you get it? Get blocked, because it's Minecraft. It's high quality humor that you only get here on the Toycat channel, alongside my high quality builds. Which again, this in 10 years we're gonna look back and say, you know, all these really nice villages that we see in Minecraft, they're nothing. They have no scratches on this beauty of a piece. And yeah, when that happens, yeah, come back to this video. Leave me a comment telling me how you're wrong. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, because I guess I'll see you all in the next one. If you subscribe and notifications turned on. Otherwise, I'll see you when I see you, which is hopefully again. Anyway, goodbye.